Today I will be explaining you the lesson The Thief Story written by Ruskin Bond. It is the second chapter of the supplementary reader. Ruskin Bond is a famous Indian writer in English. He is known for his short stories. This is one of his well-known stories. The writer shows how the reformation of a criminal is best achieved through love and understanding rather than punishment. The story deals with the basic human values and relationship. It is easier to rob a greedy man, but it is difficult even for a thief to rob a careless and honest man. The story deals with Hari Singh, the narrator's transformation from a thief into an honest man. It was Anil's selfless form that helped him to redeem himself. Gradually, he began to understand the basic human values, friendship and trust that Anil had reposed on him. He had been reformed into a good man through love and understanding. First paragraph. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. You look a bit of wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So do you? He replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. What is your name, Hari Singh? I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employees. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grinding, lifting and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you. I said, but I can't pay you. Word meanings: lean, thin, flattery, insincere praise, modestly, in a humble manner, grunting, make a low, short, guttural sound, appealing, attractive, or interesting. Explanation. The story starts from the point where the two main characters of the story meet. Here, the two main characters, they are meeting, Anil and the thief. Anil and the narrator. The thief is the narrator of the story. The thief says that according to him, he was pretty good at stealing. He says that he is an expert in the art of theft. Anil was watching a wrestling match when the thief approached him. Anil was a tall, lean and easygoing man of 25 years old. The thief had not committed any theft in the past few days as he did not get a chance. He didn't get a chance to steal for the past few days. So he thought about getting comfortable with him because he thinks that Anil would be a good man to steal things from. He said that to win his confidence by flattering him. He wants to win his confidence, so he just flattered him. To this, Anil replied that even the thief looked like a wrestler, which offended him as he was very thin at that time. Thief, in a humble manner, he replied that he did wrestle a bit sometimes. Anil asked him his name, and the narrator lied that his name was Hari Singh. He is lying to him because the narrator used to change his name every month. He is changing his name to escape from the police and ex-employers. He used to change his name to escape from the police and employers. Then they started talking about the well-oiled wrestlers whom they watched on the screen. The narrator didn't have much to say as he did not know anything about wrestling. As Anil was leaving, the narrator again approached him, asking him that he wanted to work for him. The narrator approached him with the most appealing smile that he could. Anil told him that he won't be able to pay him for his work. Back to the text. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, "Can you feed me? Can you cook?" "I can cook," I lied again. "If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you." He took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, but he couldn't help laughing. Later he patted on the head and said, "Never mind, he would teach me to cook." He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant for working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about ₹1 a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Meanings: misjudged, form a wrong opinion, terrible, extremely bad or serious. Patted means touch quickly or gently with the flat of the hand. Pleasant, giving a sense of happy satisfaction. Surprise, a stock or amount of something supplied or available for use. Explanation: Harina had not expected this reply and thought to himself that he had misjudged Anil, as he had thought that Anil had lot of money. The narrator then asked if he could feed him, to which Anil instantly asked if Harry could cook. Harry lied again and he said that he knows it very well. Anil replied that if Harry could cook, then he could feed him. He could give food to him. Both of them went to Anil's room, which was above the Jumna sweet shop. Anil also told Harry that he could sleep in the balcony. The narrator said that that he cooked must have been terrible, as Anil had to give it away to stray dogs. He is not at all an expert in cooking, and it seems that his cooking was so terrible. So because he had given that to the stray dog, he didn't have food that night. He had given it to stray dogs. Then he told Harry to go and sleep, but Harry decided to stay for a while. Harry's smile was appealing, so attractive that Anil could not stop laughing looking at him. After some time, Anil patted on Harry's hand and told him that he would teach him how to cook. He also told him how to write his name and told him that he would soon teach him to write sentences and add numbers. Harry told him he would teach him how to cook well, and also he would teach him how to write sentences, how to add numbers, etc. etc. Harry was grateful for what Anil had planned, as he knew that there would be no limits to his work once he knew how to write. Harry enjoyed working for Anil. He used to make tea for him in the morning. Then he used to go out to buy groceries for him. He would also keep ₹1 in his pocket every day from the money that Anil used to give him for daily groceries. He was able to keep ₹1 in his pocket from the money that Anil had given him to purchase groceries. Anil knew that he took ₹1 every day, but he did not mind. He was fine with it. Anil made money by fits and starts. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a pure way to make a living. He's writing for magazines, and this is the way he's making his living. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. That is why it was so difficult to rob him. It is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it is difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he has been robbed, and takes all the pressure out of the work. Well, it is time I did some real work. I told myself I am out of practice, and if you don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hands slid under the mattress searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Fits and starts meaning not working on something constantly. Borrow, take and use. Lend meaning grant to the use of on the understanding that it will be returned. Cure means strange. Tuck means push or fold or turn so as to hide or secure them. Line of work means activity in your life that you do to earn money. Beam means a ray or shaft of light. Crept means move slowly. Drew, pull or drag. Sighed, emit a long, deep, audible breath. Startled, surprised. Explanation: Anil didn't have any regular income, as he used to earn money by doing different activities. Anil didn't have a regular income because he is doing a lot of different activities. He didn't have any fixed job. The narrator says that Anil used to be worried about his paychecks all the time. But as soon as he would receive the check, what he is doing, children, he would go with friends and celebrate. The narrator thinks that he used to write for magazines. The narrator also thinks it to be a strange way to make money. Then suddenly one evening, what happened? Anil came home with some money and told Harry that he had just sold a book to a publisher. Before going to bed, Anil put the money under his mattresses, and Harry saw him putting the money there. Harry thought that he had been working for Anil for almost a month now, and he had not cheated him apart from the 1 rupee that he used to take daily. Narrator also thinks that he had every chance to steal, as Anil had given him the key to his room, key of his room, and he could come and go whenever he wished to do so. Harry had been trusted upon by Harry the most. Harry had not been trusted upon by anyone else in his life. He had trusted him, that Anil had trusted him. This was the only thing that was stopping Harry from stealing as Harry thought that it is easy to rob a greedy man. And because Harry had trusted him, it was the only thing that withdraw him from stealing him. It is. He says that it is easy. It is easy way. It is easy to steal a greedy man. It is easy to rob a greedy man because he has a capacity or the money to get robbed, as he knows about what he has lost. But for a careless man like Anil, there was no use to steal, as they sometimes don't even come to know that they have been robbed because he is very careless. He was very careless about money. So it is very difficult to rob a careless man like Harry. Like Anil. Harry feels that when someone doesn't come to know that he has been robbed, then there is no fun left in robbing. Then Harry decided that he would start with some work. He had not robbed anyone for a long time. He had decided to do some job. He decided not to steal anybody. He also justified his act of stealing Anil's money by telling himself that if he didn't steal it, then also Anil would waste it on his friends. He also thought that he had a right over the money, as Anil didn't even pay him for the work he used to do. Because he thought that he had a right over that money. Because he is not, that Anil is not at all paying him money for the work he is doing. Come back to the text. Harry started his work when Anil was sleeping. There was a little bit light over Anil's bed because of the moonlight that was coming in from the window. Harry sat on the floor and planned that if he took the money, he could leave the city by the 10:30 p.m. Lucknow Express train. Harry then crawled towards the bed and slipped his hand slowly inside the bed mattresses. He looked at Anil, who was sleeping peacefully without a single line on his face, and Harry's face had so many scars on it. He realized that although he was much younger than Anil, he had such a bad appearance due to his wrong thinking. On the other hand, Anil was carefree and thought good for others, because of which he had such a nice face. Harry then took out the notes without making any sound. Anil took a breath in his sleep and turned his side. He was directly facing Harry, which scared him a bit. And Harry quickly left the room. As soon as Harry left the room, he was on his room. He was on the road. He started running and had kept the notes on in his pajamas. He had tied with the string of pajamas. Then after a while, Harry slowed down and counted the notes. He had 12 notes of 50 rupees each, which made it 600 rupees. Then Harry thought to himself that with this much money, he could live a luxurious life like an Arabian sheikh for at least 2 weeks. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight into the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated for some reason. I can't explain. I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance, but I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money but for the loss of trust. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. And the night was chilly. It was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. Dash meaning quickly ran towards something. Carriages, any of the separate section of a train that carry passengers His stated means pause in decision. Deserted, empty of people, curious, eager to know. Robbed means take property unlawfully. Robbed. Bazaar, market. Maidan, a park. Drizzle, light rain, falling in very fine drops. Explanation. When Harry reached the station, what did he do? He straight away went to the platform without buying a ticket. He had never bought a ticket in his life. He had always travelled without a ticket. When he reached the platform, the Lucknow Express in which he had to go was just leaving. The train was just leaving the platform. He reached the platform, the train was just leaving. The train was still slow, so he could have jumped and got one of the carriages. But he didn't do so. There was a little of hesitation in him. He didn't understand why he had that hesitation inside him. Because of that, he could not board the train. After some time, when the train had left, Harry found himself all alone at that empty platform. He was alone there. Harry did not know where he could spend that night. He didn't have any friends and whom he could go to, as he used to think that his friends were more trouble than helpful. He thinks that all his friends are more troublesome than being helpful. He didn't want to stay at any of the small hotels, as that would attract attention. He may be caught. He knew that only one person very well, and he had robbed him as well. As Harry was walking through the bazaar after leaving the station, he was thinking of his observations as a thief. In a short career span, he had realized that although everybody from rich to poor showed different reactions to losing their goods, but Anil would be only a little bit sad. That would not be because he lost his money, but because he has lost the trust that he had on Harry. He would be sad that he trusted someone so much and the person had betrayed him. And here he is saying about Anil's reaction. Anil would be sad when he realized that Harry had betrayed him, because he had trusted him. He would be sad not because of losing that money, but because of the trust, he had reposed on him, that he had betrayed him. Harry was walking when he reached a park. He sat on a bench there. As it was the month of November, the night was a bit chilly, and then the drizzle added to discomfort that Harry was going through. It started raining quite heavily, and Harry's shirts and pajamas stuck to his body. Cold wind was blowing across Harry's face. Back to the text. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp for the rain. Anil's money in the morning. He would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema, but now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or to learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. All sentences I knew could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal. Sometimes just as simple to be caught, but to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil and told myself you only to learn to read and write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, so it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight, and he was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupees between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirit rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. Without any effort. Meanings: damp means slightly wet, hurried, rushed, undetected, not discovered. Undetected means not discovered. Hari went back towards the bazaar. He sat down under the shelter of the clock tower to escape from getting wet. It was 12 o'clock by the clock tower. Hari checked the notes. They were all wet. Again he started thinking that it was Anil's money. And if he had not stolen it, Anil would have given him 2 or 3 rupees to go for a movie. But now he had stolen it. He had it all. Now he won't be able to make tea or do groceries for Anil anymore. Nor would he be able to learn to write whole sentences. If he is there, Anil would teach him the lessons. Anil will teach him how to read and write. And he will be paid 1 or 2 or 3 rupees for the work he is doing. And also he had not realized that he would be losing all these in the excitement of stealing the money. He knew that if he could learn to read and write, he could earn much more money than these few hundred rupees. He realized that if he is educated, he would be able to earn more money. He knew that it was very easy to steal something from someone. Isn't it, children? It is easy to steal something from someone, very easy. But sometimes it was that easy to get caught as well. He knew that if he learned to read and write, he would surely become a big and respected man one day. Then Hari told himself that he should go back if he wanted to learn to read and write. And if he wanted to be a big man one day, he has to go back. Hari went back to Anil's room and was very nervous because he knew that it was much more difficult to return stolen money. Much more difficult to return the stolen things without being caught than actually stealing it. Hari went to the hallway and stood there. As the moonlight was still falling over the bed, and he was still asleep, Hari went near the head of the bed and took out the notes. As he was going near the mattress, he could feel his breath on his hand. Hari became still for a moment, found the edge of the mattress and finally slipped the notes under it. Next morning, Hari woke a little late and Anil had already made the tea for him. Anil extended his hand towards Hari and he had a 50 rupee note in his hand. Hari thought that he had been caught, but Anil explained that he had made some money the day before, so he was giving him 50 rupees. He also said that he would be paying Hari regularly. Hari was really happy, but when he took the note in his hand, he saw that it is still wet from last night. He also told Hari that the day he would teach him how to write complete sentence. Hari realized that Anil had come to know that he had stolen money and kept it back. But the great things that happened was that he did not let it show on his face. He didn't to convince that on his face. He didn't show that on his face. Hari again smiled at Anil in his most appealing way, and Anil's smile also came to his face without any effort. Thank you, children. Thank you and bye.